Okay, great. I thought the music would turn off when I turned the live on, but apparently Chris Brown is still banging. Okay, sorry about that, guys. Anyways, I was just coming on this morning very briefly. Whoever's on, hello, greetings. Just coming on briefly to kind of discuss this Mandela effect that happened to me the other day, where I guess my dream world, oh shoot, I almost dropped the phone. The dream world and the real world actually seems like they collided. So I was at work, and I have like this Yeti cup. And hey, Ethan Skay, how are you? Good, grand rising to you. And so I have this Yeti cup, and what I normally do is, I just drink out of the lid of it, but I dropped it that morning, and it cracked a little bit. So I was like, because I love my Yeti. My kids actually make fun of me because all the places that we've traveled, the Yeti's been there. Hey, Critical Break! So I dropped the Yeti, and so I picked it up and I went inside. So I was like, okay, well, now I'm gonna have to get a straw because, I'm gonna have to get a straw because I can't drink out of it and it's cracked. So I got a straw from my coworker, and she always, right, like deja vu at Critical Break. So she gives me a straw. She buys straws for work. Her desk is like the everything desk. You can go there and get forks, spoons, whatever you want. So I get the straw from her, and it's a clear straw, like a restaurant straw. She didn't give me the straws from her usual little stash, which is like the colorful ones you get from the grocery store. But this was like a straw that she had extra from, from a restaurant. And then she turned around and she gave me like 3 more. So I was like, okay, cool. So I had this straw in for a couple of days, washing it off and rinsing it out. Not sure why I didn't change it out, but I went to the bathroom and I decided, okay, I probably am going to have to change the straw, because I think when I went to clean it up again, I dropped it on the floor. So I was like, I'm just going to get it. Another one out of the drawer from the few that she gave me. So I go back upstairs, I look in the drawer, and they're gone. So, I'm a little I'm a little goofy when it comes to stuff going missing, because like if something goes missing in my house, I swear out that my kids stole it until I find it. And then they're like, really, Mom? You just Right, Critical Break. So I'm like looking in the drawer like, hey, prodigal daughter, how are you? So I'm like looking all in the drawer. I can't find it. So, the first thing I'm like, well, dang, the cleaning people got to steal, they got to steal straws too? Like, what the hell is going on here? So, I'm accusing somebody of stealing it. But who the hell is going to steal straws? So I'm just going through this dresser, this desk, and I'm looking I've looked in all the drawers, side drawers, the little top cabinet that we have. I cannot find these straws to save my life. So I go back to my friend that gave it to me, my coworker, and I said, hey, how about the straws you gave me last week? I can't even find them. I don't know if somebody went in my drawer and took them, whatever. She's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, you remember you gave me those straws. I said, I dropped the one. I just threw it away a few minutes ago. The first one that you gave me, but you gave me some more, and I don't know what happened to them. And she's like, I only gave you 1 straw. And I'm like, no, you gave me that 1 clear straw. And she's like, and then you gave me like 3 more. And she's like, no, must have not been me. Must have been somebody else, because I only have these colorful straws. I don't even have any clear straws. So I'm just like, okay, did I fucking dream this? Like, what are you talking about? You don't have the clear straw. What are you talking about? And she's like, no, seriously. And she opened her drawer and she's like, these are the only straws I have. I didn't have any left over from the, from the restaurants. Like, I thought that's what she gave me. So I was like, okay, well, maybe it was my other coworker, because I have another coworker who also has an everything desk, and sometimes I'll go ask her for stuff. So I went over to her desk and I'm like, hey, did you give me some straws last week? And I mean, this is the stupidest conversation that I'm having at work, but I'm tripping because I know that this happened. I know this. And then, okay, so what was the craziest part of it? It was, I just went to the little place where we have like ice and water. I had just gone down there and threw the straw away. So I didn't even have any proof to show these people that I'm not crazy. I didn't even have the proof anymore because I threw it away. So I'm just sitting there like looking crazy as hell because they're both like, no, we didn't give you a straw. We didn't give you any straws, and they're not in my drawer, so obviously nobody gave them to me. I know it is funny, right? But it's just the point that these things happen to me quite often. Yesterday, I walked in my room, and it looked like the room, like the certain parts of the room was like moving, like shifting. And the crazy thing is that these things don't scare me. When I see them, I'm just like, wow, another glitch in the matrix. It really doesn't like scare me or make me feel like, oh, I want to go crawl up into the bed. It just weirds me out like, oh my gosh. Right. do. You guys are hilarious, but I promise you that's how I felt. And then they're all at work. Now they're like teasing me like, yeah, what did you have to drink when you went down there? You sure you threw the straw away or you went and had some tequila? I mean, they're just all making fun of me. So still to this very moment, I have no idea what happened to those straws. I have no idea if I dreamed it or if it happened in real life or what. And I'm having a lot of moments like this where I cannot determine if something is the dream world or the real world. Like it's starting to collide. Like with these straws, I think that I maybe dreamed that happened. And did I pull one of the straws from the dream? Because I had it all week. Yes, and I always have had visions, critical break, stuff happening in the future or whatever. I may see a glimpse of it or I may dream it and then it'll happen and it's like a deja vu. I think I made a video about the deja vu. So here's another thing. And you guys know I'm in South Carolina. We are okay from the storm. I meant to come on and do a video. You're in South Carolina, critical break? Or you're having dream world colliding things? Yes, and I figured that. I said I've told all of my subscribers. Okay. I've told all of my subscribers that I live in South Carolina and we just had this huge hurricane. A lot of people get South Carolina and North Carolina mixed up anyways. Whenever you say I'm from South Carolina, they always bring up North Carolina and you're just like, yeah, that's like saying I'm from New York and somebody brings up Delaware, literally, because we're just right there beside each other. So, sorry, somebody's calling me like I feel like talking. So, I don't want to talk to them. I just want to talk to you guys. Not right now anyways. And so, I went through the storm. We evacuated, of course, because you guys know, I don't take chances with our government. I don't know when they're going to have a false flag or a real flag or a combination of the two. So whenever, they say that there's going to be a storm, I haul ass. I have parents that live way inland up in Atlanta. And so that's what I do. I go up there with them. So Conway, South Carolina, which is like Myrtle Beach. If you guys are familiar with Myrtle Beach, a lot of people are not familiar with Charleston, but they're familiar with Myrtle Beach. Myrtle Beach got hit really hard. There was still flooding there as of day before yesterday, where some people have just evacuated and they can't even come back because there's so much flooding. I have friends in Fayetteville, North Carolina, who are experiencing the same things. They have intermittent power outages going on because the lights are, it's just really bad. So you guys keep those people, in your meditations and your thoughts, send them some good energy that, that these guys will be okay. Okay, see you later then. Thanks for joining me. But we're fine. We didn't get absolutely anything in Charleston. But guys, so what did you guys think about the fact that this hurricane dropped from a category 4 to a category 2 overnight? Right. And critical break, I'm going to tell you this. Calm down. No, I didn't get to read the whole post of what you just put, but I did like the fact that they shut our entire city down from Tuesday through the weekend. Like nothing was open except Publix. But it forced everybody to slow down, take a break, take a breather. Who knows what the hell they did while we were all off of work and taking a breather. But I enjoyed the time off. I went to Georgia with my family and we really had a great time. But like I said, who knows what they've cooked up. And then we didn't get anything from the storm but rain. I don't even know if our power went out or anything. I think all we got was rain and a little bit of wind. So pretty much our whole city was shut down. There were wages lost. Why? Right. Like, why would they want everybody gone? You know what I'm saying? Like, our highways were turned around on Tuesday. Like, they have this thing down here where they'll turn all the interstates going one direction, and that's out of the city. So, like I said, I left. I don't do storms. Like I said, I never know what they're going to actually do. But how does a category 4 storm drop down to a category 2 overnight? It seems like there was some kind of negotiations going on saying, okay, well, we're going to negotiate. You can either do Charleston, you can do Wilmington, you can do Florence, you can do Conway, but you can't, it's going to be a certain places that we just can't let you have right now. Like, I just felt like there was some kind of negotiations going on with this weather modification, because we all know that the hurricane wasn't real. No fucking hurricane drops from a 4 to a 2 overnight. And I know you guys, some of you probably follow Mr. RBB 333. He's like a huge guy on YouTube. He has great weather information. He gets these storms out in the ocean when they're just starting up before the news people even know about it. So he said that there was only a 2-degree drop in the water. 2 degrees made a storm drop 2 categories? Really? It's so in your face, and I just get so frustrated with family members and friends that are so asleep. They're just so asleep, so they just have absolutely no clue of what's going on in the real world. But it's just, this storm was a big shenanigan. Who knows what they really did while this was all going on? And those poor people in North Carolina and Fayetteville and a lot of those surrounding areas that are still flooding all this toxic water. It's just awful. So you guys keep them in your thoughts. But I just wanted to get on this morning and kind of share with you guys that I am okay, that we didn't get anything from the storm. There's another one out there. If indeed it looks like it's coming our directions, I will be gone again, because I don't do it. I don't stick around to see what they're going to do. But yeah, has anybody else been having these crazy synchronicities, dream world and actual world colliding, any Mandela effects? I had a huge one all the time. And you know what? Critical break. I thought about that too, because whenever there's one, I didn't get on there this time, but I usually get on and I'm telling you guys, hey, send some energy to this storm. And I will say that when I was in Georgia, I was sending energy to that storm, that it did not affect my area and no area, because I hate to just ask for it to not affect me. I'm the only important person in the world, because other people are truly suffering. So I did put energy on it for it to just go away altogether, but it did drop down to a category 2. So I'm appreciative that it did not hit North Carolina as a category 4, because it would have devastated that area more than it did. Right now they're just dealing with flooding. Hopefully that can dry up. But here's the thing. So you guys know that I'm an original, what they called a Geechee Gullah Aboriginal American. I don't claim Africa because my family has done the archives of our lineage, and it traces back to Blackfoot Indian. It does not trace back to Africa. People, you could debate me if you want. We all came from Africa. Well, if that's the case, that includes Lunars, Asians, everybody else. If it's the motherland, then we all came from there at some point in history. But all of us have migrated to other places. Europeans have. I claim my country. This is where I was born. This is where all of my family is from. So I have no ties to Africa. I have no land in Africa. Nobody's telling me, hey, come on back over here to Ghana or Nigeria or wherever, Sierra Leone, and come back to your people. Haven't had that invite yet. So as far as I know, I'm an American. I don't look African. Nobody in my family looks African. They look like what our lineage says we are, which is Blackfoot Indians. So, and that's Blackfoot Aboriginal because there is no Indians. That was just someplace somebody was lost and didn't know where they were, so they just called us Indians. So, sorry about that quick rant, but like I said, I don't subscribe to the out of Africa story for myself and my family. But we are original to this area, and they call us the Geechee Gullas. Well, whenever slavery ended, a lot of the land around Charleston is like islands and beautiful beaches, and so they gave all those areas to the brown people. I don't know what it was about those areas that they didn't want, but they gave them to the brown people. Now, of course, these areas are now more attractive to the colonizers, and they want it back. So how convenient that this flood happens on the coast of South Carolina and North Carolina, and guess what? The Geechee Gullah areas that these people still owned, that were, these beautiful islands and beautiful beaches. Now, I just read an article that those people, the original Geechee Gullahs, may lose their land because of the flooding. Well, how convenient is that? How convenient is that? Yes. And then all the fires in NorCal, everybody knows about that. All the fires. I've heard that the Asian people have pretty much purchased California and they own it, and they want us, the Americans, off of the land so they can have it. And I believe that because when I went to California, I expected to see this melting pot of all different cultures, mainly Hispanic, being that, there's a large population of Spanish people. I love Mexican food. I love all kind of food from all over the place, but Mexican has to be my favorite, hands down. So I was super excited to go to California, thinking I was going to get all this beautiful Hispanic food and see all these beautiful people of Spanish descent or Mexican culture. I just thought that's what I was going to see. Well, no, ma'am. I saw nothing but Asians, Koreans, Japanese, Chinese. What are these? I mean, like everywhere you went. And these like beautiful Korean, like the Korean air people, they don't even look real. They look like little dolls, like little China dolls. You would never even think that they're real people. So this is what I saw in California. I did not see. So I'm inclined when I hear something and then I go to the place and I can see reality play out of, somebody made a video and they talked about this, and then boom, all of a sudden you're there and you see it in real time. I have no choice but to believe it's true. So now these Geechee Gullah people that have been fighting and fighting and fighting these colonizers about their land for years and years and years, now they're going to lose it because of the flooding, because FEMA's going to go in and declare the land inhabitable and then take the land, and then a couple of years down the road, the colonizers will have it. That's what they do. So now they're not just coming straight out and killing people, which they are doing that too, but they're not just brutally killing people and pushing them off their land. They're using weather modifications to get people off of their land so that they can have the places that they want. Just like in Houston, a lot of those places will be declared inhabitable, and then they'll keep the land for themselves. they've been doing that here in South Carolina as well. And Charleston, just so you guys know, is #1 in the United States for gentrification. #1 where I live. So it's just really sad. And it's just so sad because I have people that, you know, are my matrix people that don't realize that they're living in a matrix, and they even know about the gentrification, but it's so far gone until, you know, it's almost like there's nothing we can do about it. We can just sit here and just watch it happen. But I think that for brown people, the best thing for us to do will be to get away from the major cities, and go, you know, back out into the country areas, because when the shit goes down, the people are in the major cities are the ones that are going to feel it. So that's my goal, is to get like a tiny home or a metal home or something and just live out in the woods. That's my dream life. So anyways, guys, I enjoyed everybody hanging out with me this morning. I have to grab some vegetables. I'm trying to detox this week because we're supposed to go to Houston, and I want to look the part, go to a Nigerian Independence Flag Day Festival. I love partying with my African brown people. They have the best parties ever. So that's what we're going to try to get done this weekend. We're going to do a day trip to Houston and hang out there. So if anybody is in Houston and my subscribers list, hit me up so I can hit you up. But I will talk to you guys soon. I enjoyed it this morning. And please, you guys know I live for your comments. Please comment. And did you guys see the latest video I put out of Nature Boy? Guys, please check that out if you haven't. And I am enjoying this weather, you know, in Charleston. So I don't know what we have, but it's not really autumn yet. It's still summer. But happy fall equinox to everybody. You guys have a great day. Bye.